This TRP National Motocross action is proudly brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, Thor Riding Apparel, and all our associate sponsors. Thanks, ladies. It's great to be at the Phakisa Motocross track for the first time at national championship level. We came here last year, but they've done an incredible job to sort it all out now for the national, and we start things out with the 65cc's. We saw great action last week's show, and now we're going to see some more with these slightly smaller wheels and how they're going to battle on this incredible motocross track. Oh, and as you can see, even out the gates, they're battling there. Look like the 194, they're getting out of shape. Timo Topfer, he'll have to get back up and get riding again. As they head down into Bridgestone corner, that's turn number 1. It is the 17 bike who leads out. Liam Buerta getting the whole shot. Good start there from Neil van der Pfeiffer as well. Emmanuel Bacco starting to make his way to the front end. Championship leader is Luca Meinhardt. He sits in second place at the moment. Just behind him, that's of course van der Pfeiffer, and then Vian Deploy. Deploy not getting the start he wanted, but he's certainly being hounded now by Jordan van Wyk. Not quite the power to get over that big step up, but they certainly are going to find things difficult. As you can see, look at all those ruts. Look at the different lines that are out there. These youngsters are going to have their wits about them and be wary all the time for changing conditions throughout this race. Look at that, a little bit of a change in the line there from Bacco as he went down and comes down into this turn and changes up into second place there. Emmanuel Bacco just squeezing out. Initial race leader there, Liam Buerta. It's Meinhardt who leads things out now though, and there you can see the change up. Buerta dropping back into the clutches there of van der Pfeiffer. So Bacco up to second. Van der Pfeiffer fighting hard there with Buerta. And then it's Jordan van Wyk. Further back there, nice from Seth Young. Also starting to make his way up into the top 10. Look out for Trey Cox. He'll be looking for a top 10 finish as well. They're into the 100% section now. And it's a massive gap there between first and second. Emmanuel Bacco down into second place. Van der Pfeiffer up to third and closing. Neil van der Pfeiffer has really got to grips with the 65. It's a massive change up. Oh, and he's gone down. Van der Pfeiffer makes a small mistake. Fortunately, Dad right there to help him out, gets him back up and riding, but he's dropped back about 3 positions. So a little bit of work now for Neil to do. Going past the Ridgeway race bar signs there, and they can see, look at this, absolutely flat out through that berm. These guys have found a special line through that turn, and it has worked out nicely there for Van der Pfeiffer. He closes right onto the back end of Jordan van Wyk. Oh, problems in the back there, as you can see, the 221. That, of course, is Chad Curtis, one of our regional riders, getting caught and passed by some of the national championship contenders. Remember, this is a combination of Northern Regions and National Championship contenders, and the Ridgeway Ran is taking strain. Chad goes down again. That's the second time he's crashed out. That's a big pity, but fortunately some marshals and some helpers online to help him out. Bacco's closed the gap down ever so slightly, but it's still decent enough for Luca Meinhardt to hang on to the front, and I think he'll probably control it all the way to the checkered flag. It's a fantastic ride here from this youngster. He's now gone 3 for 3. In fact, I think he's actually gone 5 for 5. Unbelievable ride here from Luca Meinhardt over the last couple of rounds of this championship, and another victory in the bag here for him, maintaining his lead in the championship and keeping that red plate into the finals. Second place is Bacco, and third place eventually was Van der Pfeiffer, but in the overall results, it was Luca Meinhardt beating out Bacco, Neil van der Pfeiffer and Vian Deploy, with Seth Young beating out Liam Buerta, Venter and Trey Cox up into 8th. Celebrations on the podium and keeping that red plate. It's all important now heading into the final round. A little bit of prep here in between the races, but it's time for our premier class, MX1. 450's being led out by the 444, Caleb Tennant, but there's a lot of riders here today that certainly want to knock him off that top step of the podium. And they're going to be fired up for it. So is our reigning champion, the number 1 bike there, Tristan Purdon. On the outside, Cam Udendahl taking an outside line as the 5-second board drops. So do the gates, and we head down towards turn 1. Who's going to have what it takes to take this whole shot into Bridgestone corner? It is the Husqvarnas, yes indeed, but already caught and passed now by Kieran Fitzgerald as he goes on the outside. Milan hangs onto the whole shot. Goosen on the inside. Tenders dropped to 4th. Kieran Fitzgerald up into 2nd place. Here they come, sorting it up. No, it's now Goosen up to 2nd. Fitzgerald to 3rd, and then we can see Tristan Purdon applying pressure onto the back end of Tennant. Another fantastic start from Tyson Engelbrecht. He's got Anthony Reynard behind him. Then the rest of the usual contenders come flying through there. Royce Griffin with another good start there. He's fighting hard, as you can see, with Josh Mlimi and Jaden Ashwell. Back to the front. And they're starting to sort things out. Watch for the different lines, like we saw last week in MX2s, coming out of Tristan Purdon. He's going to try and use this 450 to close onto the back end of the Husky now, of championship leader Caleb Tennant. The man in shot now as they head down through the fly section. Absolutely fantastic stuff. It is Husqvarna, Yamaha, KTM, Husqvarna and Yamaha. The battle royal at the front end. Coming through there, some of the usual contenders, and of course Royce Griffin and Engelbrecht. Here comes Goosen though. Goose up the inside. Can he get through? Yes, he can. Perfectly done. Just applied the pressure enough, got onto the brakes, missed those braking bumps and got onto the inside and ahead of Milan. Milan now trying to come back at him. Oh, Milan's jumping far on that bike, trying to get as much of the airtime as he can to close onto the back end of the Out of Africa Yamaha. He leads out. Q for Fuels, Husqvarna in second with Milan on board. Ahead now down towards the fly jump. Kieran Fitzgerald is being closed down by Tennant and Purdon. They certainly are applying big pressure onto the back end there and trying to close down on the man in third. Let's see if Fitzgerald can keep them all at bay. Milan now goes into that rhythm section, trying to close down on the 21 Out of Africa Yamaha. And Goosen looks like he means business here. David Goosen is certainly fired up with this last couple of rounds of this championship. He certainly doesn't want to give it up just yet. And flying over the twin air jump. Absolutely awesome stuff. Oh, little issue there. Oh, I think there's a big problem. Yes, there's a massive problem there for Milan. You can see he's unhappy. The rear end of that Husqvarna has broken. It's either a suspension or something is broken there. Let's catch up with him and find out.
I came over one of the singles, and as I landed, I just felt the back shock, like kind of the whole back end sag, and I hit the next table top, and it kicked me out the bars almost, and it just cut out. And, yeah, as you can see, my baby's lying over there. Stop frame, I think, cracked in half and broke. But yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those things.
It is a massive loss there to this race. Hopefully we can get it sorted out and get him out for race number 2. I'm sure that's exactly what Fred Fensham is doing. Right, battle for second and third place now, up for grabs. It's Kieran Fitzgerald who's up in a second. Goosen's all on his own, and Purdon moves up to third, ahead of Tennant. Purdon using that outside line out of the top berm just to get a little bit more traction, like he did in MX2s, and he's now doing it on the 450. Bit of back markers to play with here. Coming up from Van der Roel there, I think, if I'm not mistaken, as they come through. They get through on him relatively unscathed. In fact, he goes down. So he was caught out there by the quicker riders coming through. Look at all the roost. These guys have battled with roost all day long. It's because this track is so well prepped. Arvin Talaga has done an amazing job here. Mlimi now going at it. Let's see how hard he's having to fight. He's with 141 there. Royce Griffin, man, who's not usually at the front end, but he's had an incredible end to the season. Kieran Fitzgerald hanging on. Can he keep them all out now? Only a couple of laps to go. And Fitzgerald wants that second place. He's got to try and keep in the hunt for this championship. It's Caleb Tennant who just wants to maintain that red plate. But look at Purdon. As I said, different lines. Oh, man! Purdon with a massive moment. Speedway style out of the berm. A massive high side. They're almost exactly the same place as what happened last week in the MX2s there for Caleb Tennant. Tennant will be watching the show going, yeah, that's exactly what I did. And he got it all wrong. No worries, all here for David Goosen. He starts his final lap and is absolutely miles ahead of Kieran Fitzgerald. I think the two of them are not going to be troubled here for this last lap. And the Out of Africa Yamaha man has done it all right. He got to the front, he stayed clean. He's had no roost to deal with other than a couple of back markers. And it looks like Caleb Tennant is going to have to just settle for third place. I don't think he's got enough time here to catch Kieran Fitzgerald for second. Tennant won't be too concerned about that. He'll be thinking about the championship more than anything else. It's really important at this stage just to be consistent. Anthony Reynaud also starting to make his way up to the field. Of course, he's moved up to fourth place now. But now as we get into the closing stages, it's Goosen who comes out of FMF and he's going to take the win. A great ride there from David Goosen to beat out Kieran Fitzgerald on the Red Bull KTM. And the Q for Fuels Husqvarna of Caleb Tennant comes through for third. Confirmation of those top three. There you go with Anthony Reynaud in fourth. Tristan Purdon up into fifth place after that crash, beating out Ashwell and Mlimi and Royce Griffin. Join us off the break for some more action here from Velkom. Welcome back to Phakisa Motocross Track in Velkom and action from the TRP National Motocross Championships. It's been incredible so far. This track has lived up to exactly what we expected. Some top class action from top class riders. And we head into the high school class now with the young guns. So far this season, Justin Sanks has been the man to catch and beat. He's managed to hang on to the red plate for about 3 rounds. But he's got Cam Darrow back in the house and Dalton Fenter fired up after his last couple of outings, having gone to the front end and the top of the podium. Sangster looks like he's got the whole shot though, as they head down into Bridgestone Corner with Fenter right on his tail. It was not such a good start though from Cam Darrow. He's right way back in the field. In fact, a long way to go. Slade Smith's got a good start, but he's now stuck in the mid-pack and having to fight his way through. Problems there. Oh, is that Miguel? Yes, it is. The 26 bike of Miguel Duval down again. He's had a tough end to the season, but he'll be back up and riding, I'm sure, as long as there's no problems on that bike or on his body. Not such a great start coming out of Regan Wasmith. But the Zimbabwean will definitely be looking to get to the front rapidly. Dalton Fenter on the back end of Sangster. How far back is Duro? There he is, behind Slade Smith on the ABE Midas Honda as he comes up into this very treacherous turn. It's caught a lot of riders out throughout the day. Let's keep an eye on these guys. And these little 125s are certainly going to feel the effects of a day's racing so far. Duro starting to make his way rapidly to the front on that Reef Tankers KTM. And behind him, problems. 25 going down there, that's a big one. AJ Fasaki, one of the riders we've seen at the front end of the field, particularly down in Maritzburg in Cape Town. Looks like he's had some issues there, being caught out by this track that is just getting rougher and rougher. A real motocross track to play on today. Duro will be used to this. He's had some international experience, so he's going to put it all to practice and hopefully get to the front. Further back, recovery there from Calvin Jean-Jacques, who also had an issue there on that first lap. But he's now closing in, along with Regan Wasmith, onto the back end of Mark Carty. Carty Racing KTM slowly but surely being caught by these two. We're in a three-way battle here for about 6th, 7th and 8th place on track. He's racing right through this 125 class. It's fantastic to see. Carty has definitely been closed in though. The Lights by Linear KTM is on a charge and Mark Carty's days are numbered. And it looks like Jean-Jacques wants to come along for the ride. Further back, some back markers there. Caden Nell just getting out the way. As we've got some really hot contenders making their way to the front. Sangster hanging on. Only just though. Dalton Fenter making it a battle of the 251s, and Sangster goes down right in front of Dalton Fenter. And Fenter's happy about that. Look at that. A massive shake of the head going, yes! The pressure paid off. And it certainly has. He's dropped to 4th. He's behind Cam Duro. So he's now got a lot of work to do. Sangster making a very, very treacherous mistake there. And it's cost him dearly. Slade Smith still in 2nd. Duro closing in. Sangster with Duro now coming along. Not too far off the back end of that KTM. So it looks like Sangster wants to run with Cam Duro and see if he can get to the front. Carty's been passed by Wasmith. Not quite by Jean-Jacques just yet. And just behind them, it's Arnu Simon. Nice start from him. And look at Christian Zelier also up there too. Super stuff to see that man starting to make his way to the top 10. But they're not going to catch Fenter. Once he saw that man go down, he has not put a wheel wrong on the CIT Husqvarna. And he comes through for race 1 victory, and what a ride it was. Fenter takes the win though. He beats out Cam Duro, who's only just behind him. Slade Smith hanging on for 3rd place on the ABE Midas Honda. Overall results in the high school class though, eventually going to Cam Duro, who beats out Dalton in the 2nd one. Sangster in 3rd, Arnu Simon in 4th, with Carty, Wasmith, Jean-Jacques and Celia as your top 8. Let's catch up with Dalton Fenter after a great day.
We got a good jump. I was lying 2nd and then I managed to put the pressure on Justin and then he made a mistake in the corner. Then I just led it from there and I kept it consistent. And yeah, just like to thank my sponsors, CIT Husqvarna, Liquor Molly, Dunlop, and my mum and my dad at Jim and Eric.
Fantastic ride from our high school class. Now move on to the slightly elderly statesman, MX3. Coming into this round, Ian Topless lost the lead of the championship to Dierwold van den Berg. And Van den Berg now is going to have to work hard to see if he can maintain that red plate. With a start like that though, it's going to be hard. He eventually slots up into about 4th or 5th place just behind Bircher, but it's Topless who's got the whole shot. And he's got Bircher on his tail, and Bircher already losing out through turn 3. What a move there from Dierwold. He finds a way past and gets to 2nd place. Good start there from Jared Tilley and from Calvin Gloucester as well. They're going to be fighting hard just behind, and look at that, Rod Bergstrom in there too. Sean Lloyd, one of our regional competitors, and of course our big sponsor for the regional class, he's in this mix as well, having some fun. Next national motard rider now doing national motocross and regional motocross. He's looking for a bit of a battle. He's got one on his hands of note. Calvin Gloucester leads out that battle. You can see there's Lloydie in the background. At the front of the field, it's all about Van den Berg and Topless. Topless trying to hang on. If Topless gets 2 wins here today and Van den Berg gets 2 seconds, the championship board will swap out yet again. Look on the sideline. The amount of effort that's been put in there from the Husky boys to try and get him to the front to catch that Yamaha. Bircher in 3rd place, but all on his own. Not really anyone to play with him today. It is all about the Out of Africa Yamaha, and Topless doing it all right. Just controlling from the front. Van den Berg is closed. So there could be a little bit of a tighter battle here heading into the checkered flag. Let's wait and see if Dierwold can find some pace and get that checkered flag bike of his to the checkered flag first. Looks like Topless is just up the wick though. Just getting away through the fly section. Van den Berg there on his tail. Coming into some back markers. I think they went through Byron Lineker, Greg Munnick and Pierre Kutza. There's the guys all at the back end of this field, but making up a good strong field of 16 riders this weekend. And it's great to see that the MX3s We've got a slightly bigger field, but of course it is because we've got Northern Regions and Nationals combined. Topless keeping it all together. Can he keep it together for the next couple of turns and jumps? Oh, problems right in the closing stages there for Jono Hubbard and the 5'8". Look at that, right out the front door. In fact, that's 56, I beg your pardon. It's Calvin Gloucester who's gone straight out the front door there. But he's back up and riding. Here we go, top 2. And Topless leads them out. Vandenberg has a look on the inside. Can't quite make it stick though. Very close between these two. Vandenberg maybe just thinking about this championship. But he's thinking, have to think a little bit harder, because if he gets 2 second places, as I said, he's going to lose the championship lead. Topless has to win both. Can you imagine what it's going to be like if they've got to do that again and they flip out this championship heading into the final round at Dirt Broncos? Here we go, coming into some more back markers. That's Phakisa. Oh, and he's just slightly hindered Vandenberg there. Devil won't be too concerned about that, but it has cost him a little bit of ground. That might be enough here for Topless to hang on. Last 2 jumps coming into the FMF section. They go through just 1, and he is going to just win, that is for sure. Only just, as he comes across the line to take the checkered flag and the win. He'll take the overall win as well and the championship lead. But here's the age groups overall for the day. Vandenberg taking 30 to 39s ahead of Bircher and Gloucester. Topless taking the 40 to 49s and 50 plus going to Phakisa. Let's catch up with Ian Topless, our new championship leader.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's nice to get it again. Cape Town wasn't a good weekend for me. Dilbert was on the gas. He's on the gas again today. But I've had to step it up. You're one of the younger guys coming back into the class, and it feels good. Feels good to win.
Join us off the break for some more action from the TRP National Championship Motocross. Welcome back to our coverage from the penultimate round of the TRP National Motocross. And we are looking forward to race 2 now of MX1, but it's a quick prep, Soul Clean. Get that Thor gear ready, get our ace models ready, and we're going to go down to the start line. David Goosen is looking so good here this weekend, and is certainly going to be fired up after his first race victory. Can he keep it all together though, and keep out this pack that are very hungry for victory? Mlimi's looking for a podium. Tennant has to take a podium. There's no doubt about it, he wants to maintain that red plate heading into the final round. And of course heading across to the MX of Nations. Now as they go down into turn 1, it's Reynard. Wow, what a start there. Anthony Reynard, a big surprise, and a big surprise in whole shots. Oh, and a problem for Kieran Fitzgerald. He's run wide straight into the Thor branding. That's not going to help him out. Hoping to get back on track. Have they sorted each other out? No, not quite yet. It's not done. Tennant into second. Goosen is third. Oh, look at how they're fighting here for 4, 5, and 6. Tristan Burton side by side there with Milan. They fixed that bike. That's great to see. Jaden Ashwell up there as well on his KTM. They come up to this top section. Look at how it's rutted up. Oh, this is such a great track. The 141 of Royce Griffin is right up there as well. Another fantastic start from that youngster. Really a turnaround in his season here into the closing stages of 2018. Massive pressure from the out of Africa Yamaha of Goosen. He's looking for a way through, and he's having to fight off and keep Tennant right with him. Tennant is looking like he's have to go defensive every time they climb on the brakes, and he does that. Shuts the door in Goosen's face. Probably hasn't had to deal with this much roost the whole day, because he was at the front end in race number 1. He's now third. Here comes Griffin, then it's Milan. Milan must be thinking to himself, who is this guy that I'm racing with? I haven't raced with him forever. He's looking for a way through there. Look at that, through the air nearly. Matty Milan with a massive leap here across this jump and heads down into that turn. That's just outside of turn number 1 there, the Bridgestone corner. They're through 100%, and it's Reynard from Goosen, changed up to second. Tennant down to third, into his teammates' clutches. It looks like Matty Milan might just be playing the team role here. Oh, Willie. He's going to try and hang on. Maybe even push his teammate there to get through. He's going to have to push hard because Purden is just behind them. So it's Goosen now closing in on Reynard. I think Anthony Reynard might be in trouble here. They go through the fly section. We've got 2 bikes in there at the same time, which means Tennant is not too far off the back end. And he has a move for the lead. 21 on 23. Goosen on the inside. Reynard on the outside. And it switches up as they come through the left-hander. So close between these two. KTM versus Yamaha. Goosen's on the inside this time, trying to use that little step-up jump. Didn't quite work out for him. Heading down to the bottom end of the track. Into the EVS turn, and there's the change-up. Eventually gets through, and it's Goosen who takes the lead. And almost instantaneously opens up a massive margin over Reynard. Reynard must have had a problem down there. Maybe came out of there in the wrong gear. But he's got the 2 Husqvarnas now all over the back of him, and the second Yamaha coming to play. As I mentioned earlier on, Tristan Purden has found some special lines around this track. like he does it. Oh, commentator's curse, Trist, my bad. As I was saying, he was finding some good lines. He got it all wrong. It looks like he might have hurt his arm as well. Hopefully he can get back up and riding. Caleb Tennant applying the pressure now to Reynard for second. There's big pressure from the Husky. Lights by Linear KTM could be in trouble here. Matty Milan looking over his shoulder, looking to see where Jaden Ashwell has got to. Is there a change up here? Oh, yes, there is. That is fantastic move there from Caleb Tennant. I think he was using some of the back markers there. Van der Rohe might have just given him a little bit of an advantage there. And as he caught his eye, that's when Caleb Tennant pounced. Dived up the inside to get through. Reynard's in trouble. Here comes Milan. Milan's going to make him pay at the same time. Oh, very close there from Matty Milan. Into FMF, the final turn. He's got him. He moves through and makes it Husqvarna's 2 and 3 on track. Lights by Linear KTM down to 4th. I wonder what's happened with Fitzgerald. Where's he got to? Is he just outside of that top 5 right now? And you're just going to keep an eye on the background there for that Red Bull KTM. Ashwell is 5th. And looks like he might be able to hang on to that one. There it is. The Red Bull KTM up to 6th place now after Fitzgerald ran completely off track in that second turn. Tristan Purdon doing a super job and recovering nicely to 7th. Nice to see him back on the bike. And hopefully he'll be able to hang on. Going to a track that has been good to him in the past. This track has been amazing to David Goosen. He has hardly put a wheel wrong in both the classes he races in. And this is going to be the second victory on the day here for MX1s. Tennant looking back into his teammates' eyes. He knows Milan's not going to try anything. It's too late in the season. They're going to play the team role here. And Matty Milan will just play that tail gunner and make sure that none of these two get involved. But they're going to be involved in their own little fight. This is for 4th. And they've just got through there on Cam Oudendal. Reynard hanging on. Ashwell behind them. Oh, Jaden Ashwell. Ooh, Jaden Ashwell, the big moment there. The bike was out of shape properly. And that Silkeling KTM just managed to stay on track. Well caught. Checkered flag is about to come out for the second time now for David Goosen. He's a happy man. And is going to move him up nicely in this championship. Goosen there for the win overall on the day as well. Caleb Tennant comes through for second place with his teammate Matty Milan. They're in 3rd on the Husqvarnas. Confirmation of race 2 results though. It's David Goosen, Caleb Tennant and Matty Milan, the top 3. Reynard eventually kept out Jaden Ashwell. It was Kieran Fitzgerald, Purdon and Royce Griffin, your top 8. Kieran Fitzgerald on the Red Bull KTM, 3rd overall for the day.
Yeah, MX1 was okay. I got 2.6 for 3rd overall. First race I got a decent start and then he had a bit of a bike failure at the back, which was unfortunate. David rode great in the 450s today. He kind of checked out both motors and I don't think anyone had anything for him in the 450. But second motor, my second motor was okay and I ran off the gate off the track in the start, so that kind of put me pretty much stone last. And by the time I kind of got my way to a decent position, the top guys, they were gone. So track, everyone was so close and the racing was so tight that basically impossible to make up time. And then unfortunately Tristan went down and I managed to get up to 6th, and that's where I kind of stayed for the rest of the race. So it was an okay day. We're getting better and better, and hopefully haven't won yet. Hopefully we can do something in Dirt Broncos and finish the year off good.
2 wins for the Out of Africa Yamaha man, David Goosen.
You know, we're going towards the end of the championship now and I really needed to step up my points a bit, and MX1 I can't fault it. I was 1st in qualifying and 2 wins. I'm really, really happy and proud of myself for that, but I'm a little bit upset. The 250 second moto, I turned and tucked the front a bit and twisted my knee and something's popped in, or I felt a pop anyway, and it's hurting me, but it's not crucial right now. I just don't know what it is, so I'm going to go check it out, but I'm going to keep fighting, and MX1 was really good today, and that's our premier class, so I would love to, as I won MX2 last year. It's going to be tough to beat Caleb, but one more round to go and I'm going to do my ultimate. So thanks to everybody, the team, everybody's helped me, and this one can be for my wife at home who's pretty sick with bronchitis, so you should normally hear with me right by my side, so hope you get better, Shane.
Big celebrations on the podium, and they're all looking forward to heading to the final round at Dirt Broncos on the 20th of October. Come and join us there if you're in Gauteng. Otherwise, we'll catch you on the next edition of the TRP National Motocross Show. All this action proudly brought to you by Bridgestone Tires, Thor Riding Apparel, and all our associate sponsors.